How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Some people are pissed. Some people are disappointed. Some people are just annoyed with where the market's at right now. The fact that we haven't gone up to new all-time highs recently. And I want to look at the market, show you what we can expect moving forward. Is this it, right? Is this all we're going to get during the bull run? We'll also look at some altcoins because alts have been, I don't want to say decimated, but have been really boring and underperforming for a very long time. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on the bell notification underneath the video so you can see future videos just like this. Also, if you want to trade crypto, there are links underneath the video. There's a link to WEEX where you can trade using leverage. You can trade without KYC as well, so you don't have to put in your personal information. There's also a link to BTCC, to Blofin, to BTCC, to WEEX, like I said, to CoinW, to Hotcoin. So definitely check those out underneath the video. They all have different little bonuses that they have going on right now, different trading rewards, that kind of thing. There's also a link to the Patreon, too, in case you want to get exclusive videos from me, from Joe. Joe's been in the market buying crypto for 10 plus years. Now, the market has been a little bit disappointing to a lot of people. You can see we have moved up pretty significantly after the Trump win, and then we've just been trending sideways, ranging for a very long time. Starting to break out and then falling down. Starting to break out, falling down. Starting to break out, falling down. But we've stayed in this, I don't want to say tight range, but in this range of 90 to 110,000 now for all of November, I should say half of November, December, January, February. It's been three and a half months that we've just been ranging sideways. And people are starting to get bored. People are starting to look at the ROI and say, ugh, this isn't that great. Right? When you look at the ROI after halving, we are at the lowest point that we've been for the last 4 cycles, right? You can see we're right at like 1.48 ROI. So a lot of people looking at this saying, oh, I'm not going to invest if I'm only going to get 50% in a year, right? 50%, we were around 60K during the halving. And compare this to other cycles, right? Like the second cycle, we were at 2.73. The last cycle, we were at 6.53. That's a huge difference. If we were at 6.53, we'd be sitting at a $400,000 Bitcoin, but we're nowhere close to that. That being said, we did hit all-time highs before the halving. So it is a little bit different. Depending on what chart you look at, it can look very, very different. Let's do ROI after cycle bottom. You can see we're still the lowest of the last 5 cycles, but we're very close. From the bottom, we're at 6.13, as opposed to cycle 3, where we're at 7.73. We moved up from about 15.5 thousand to 70,000, 73,000 before the halving even took place. So it's been a little bit disappointing recently, but after the halving, or before the halving, we actually performed really well. So you have to be careful. You have to be paying attention to what kind of chart you're looking at when you're looking at it on Twitter and someone saying this cycle sucks or whatever they're saying. I'm seeing all kinds of people being disappointed at this cycle. But when you look at this, it's not quite as disappointing, right? We're pretty much on pace. Recently, we were actually above the third cycle. So sometimes, the cycles pump at different times. To be clear, too, if you want to see this along with a lot of other data, this is Into the Cryptoverse. There's a link to it underneath the video that has a 10% off code. Great website for all kinds of charting. But as you can see, it was a pretty interesting pre-halving. Now it's been calm a little bit. We'll be actually going through 3 different catalysts that could be happening very soon, and some that are actually happening already that could push up crypto. What you have to consider too is that every cycle we're going to see probably smaller gains. Now some people would say that once nation states buy, we're actually going to see larger gains, but I don't think you want to come into Bitcoin assuming that, right? Honestly, Bitcoin still performed really well. It's up 100% since last year. So I'm pretty happy with it. Now altcoins haven't done quite as well. You can see a lot of altcoins underperforming versus Bitcoin. You can see Ethereum down 18% in the last 30 days. By the way, some people have been asking about the Bitcoin baby. He's back. He came back for the second half of this video. But Ethereum underperforming. Now it's moving up partially because we're hearing news that Bybit's buying a bunch of Ethereum because they need to make up for the Ethereum that they got stolen. So it's moving up a little bit in the last 24 hours compared to the rest of the market. But there are cryptos like Solana that are down 36%, and Solana's been one of the best performers this cycle. And yet it's just been kind of a dog recently. And some of the smaller altcoins too are falling down pretty significantly. You can see Bitcoin dominance just pretty much on a nonstop rally up. Now, one of the cryptos that I'm watching that I'm actually invested in on Solana is falling down too recently, along with like all of altcoins. And this is Tars AI. Like I said, I do own it. It's a platform that merges artificial intelligence with blockchain, and it's on Solana. Sorry, the baby is making lots of noise. He just woke up for the day. It's a centralized application that offers access to various AI tools and products within their ecosystem. It provides AI services that are much cheaper than traditional cloud-based solutions, and they have their own token, obviously, that can be used for staking, governance. It's a medium of transaction, that kind of thing. They have been making some news recently. They processed 5,000 voice commands in the last 7 days with their AI assistant Sona. And they also recently went on Uphold as well. And Uphold, I've worked with them before. I've worked with Uphold before, and they have 10 million crypto users. So they're a big exchange. Now, Tars isn't paying for this or anything like that. They're not a sponsor of the channel, but I am invested in them. So, I do like to shed some light on what they're doing. I'm actually making a video, a top crypto video to buy, and most likely Tars is going to be on that list. It is significantly sold off since it went up to 50 cents. So it's down a decent amount, which I think provides a good entry price if you're thinking that the bull market's not over, right? If you think the bull market's not over, which I don't think it is, a lot of these coins are going to do quite well. Now, what would get us to that point? Well, there are three things that I can really think of, three main things, right? First of all, something that's already happening, better regulation. Better regulation within crypto will provide not just more safety, but also more clarity. So there are going to be more companies that want to work within crypto, and companies that want to buy crypto, they're going to feel safer because it's not the Wild West quite as much, whether it's stablecoin regulation, which is already happening in the US, and the president is studying stablecoins right now, the crypto czar is as well, David Sachs, or whether it is, working with different companies like Coinbase to settle their SEC lawsuits with Ripple, that kind of thing. I think this is going to push up the crypto market significantly. Also, more liquidity. We've been quantitative easing for years now, and the market's still done quite well when there's still not like a ton of money being printed. But we go back to more stimulus, or we go back to a lower interest rate environment, we go back to all kinds of liquidity, that's going to push up the market significantly. Now, I'm talking specifically in the U.S. There are other nations that are quantitative easing, but the U.S. obviously the main superpower out there, the main financial power. So obviously, if there's stimulus in the U.S., it's going to push up the markets. And then also nations buying. There are a lot of rumors and a lot of research being done by different nations about buying Bitcoin, different states buying Bitcoin, pensions, sovereign wealth funds, all this. So I think we're going to get some big announcements this year. And then I think this trickles into altcoins as well. But I could always be wrong. Let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. I can't see the future, but I do think the future is bright. And there are people that are disappointed generally with where Bitcoin is. But if you look over the long term, it's doing quite well still. And even if you look at something like, let's say we look at Solana. Where was Solana a year ago? I bet you it's up more than people think. Let me know in the comments. Where do you think it was 1 year ago? Okay. 1 year ago, we were at $104. So it's up 70% on the year. Not bad. I mean, there are some altcoins like, let's look at Ethereum. I bet you, yeah, it's down a little bit in the last 1 year, down about 6 or 7%. So there are some cryptos that are down a little bit over the last 1 year. But yeah, generally, the markets are looking pretty good. Right, crypto is looking pretty good, depending on what you're investing in. Obviously, Bitcoin has performed well, Solana's performed well, a handful of alts have performed well, but there are a lot of altcoins that are still down, right? Let me know your thoughts on all this. Again, if you want to trade crypto, there are links underneath the video to all the different exchanges. I think now is a great time to be trading in crypto, getting ready for the next bull run or the next big move up. There's the link to the Patreon. There's a link to Into the Cryptoverse as well. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.